Hey, I really appreciate you joining me. I'm Carlton with PMP BBQ. Today we're going to be doing a really easy recipe that anybody can do for Canadian bacon. You can do it at home, so let's get after it. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get 4 cups of water. I've already got 2 cups in here. We're going to bring 4 cups of water to a boil. We're going to be making our brine first. So let me get this going here, and we'll get this water up to a boil or close to a boil, and then I'll be right back and I'll show you where we go from here. Okay, our water is boiling, so I'm going to cut it down to where it's just at a low simmer. And I've got 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of kosher salt that I'm going to stir in. I got 1.5 tablespoons of pink salt, or the Prague powder #1. And I've got 1/2 cup of sweetener. It's non-sugar sweetener. It's a sweetener substitute that I'm putting in here, and we're just going to whisk this all up until it gets dissolved, till all of this gets dissolved. Like I said, I've got it turned down to a low simmer now, and we're just going to keep stirring this until it gets all dissolved. And one other thing that I'm going to go ahead and put in right now is I've got some sugar-free maple syrup. And I'm going to put 1/2 cup in here. Okay. And we're just going to stir this up so that all of this dissolves. It's getting pretty close to dissolve now. It won't be long, it'll be fully dissolved. And like I say, this is going to be our brine that we're going to brine our Canadian bacon in. I've got a 4-pound pork loin that I'm going to use for my Canadian bacon. I didn't trim any of the fat off of it. You could trim it off if you want. I normally don't. Once it's cured and done and cooked and, well, smoked, we're going to smoke it. Once it's done, it's usually never an issue. Okay, everything's dissolved. Now I'm going to add in 8 cloves of garlic that I coarsely chopped up. Get them in here. Yeah. I've got 4 bay leaves that I'm going to put in here. I got 1 tablespoon of whole black peppercorns that I'm going to put in here. I got 1.5 tablespoons of thyme that I'm putting in here. And I got 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar that's going in here. And we're just going to stir it really well. Okay, we got it stirred in there. Now I'm just going to turn this off. Turn that totally off. All right, I'm going to remove this from the heat. And set it right over here. And I'm going to add 4 cups of ice water to it. I've had this water in the freezer right here, and it's 4 cups, 1 quart, right there. And I'm going to add this to it. Now I'm going to stir that real good. with a whisk. Okay, we're going to let that water cool down completely. And as soon as it's cooled down completely, I'll be back and show you what we do next. Okay, I have my 4-pound pork loin in this 1-gallon bag. My brine has cooled down totally, and I'm just going to fill this up. This right up to the top. There we go. Got everything in there. Now I'm going to unroll this. See it, make sure it's sealed real good. Okay. There we go. Now then. Now I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for about 4 days, and then I'll get it back out. Now, I'm not going to make you wait 4 days. With the power of editing and video, it'll be that quick. Okay, we're ready to put our Canadian bacon on the smoker. We put our pork loin in our brine. We put it in the refrigerator and we brined it for 5 days. And every day we flipped it over. So make sure that the brine penetrated evenly all the way around. After 5 days, I pulled it out of the brine. We rinsed it off real good, got all the brine off of it. I put it on this rack, put it back in the refrigerator for 24 hours. Now it's time to get it on the smoker. We're going to smoke it about 225 degrees till we get to an internal temperature of about 150. Let me get this done and I'll be right back. Okay, our Canadian bacon is done, so let's go over how we made it. First, we started out with about a 4-pound pork loin, and then we mixed up a brine for it. And I'll put the ingredients for the brine right over here. We put it in a Ziploc bag, put it in the brine, put it in the refrigerator for 5 days. Every day we turned it over so that the brine would get totally through. On the 5th day, we pulled it out, took it out of the brine, threw the brine away, rinsed it off really good. We soaked it for about 30 minutes in cold water. Brought it out, patted it dry with paper towels, put it on a wire rack on a pan, slid it in our refrigerator, and we let it sit in our refrigerator for 24 hours to form a pellicle. We took it out, got our smoker up to 225 degrees, put it on there, and we took this to an internal temperature of 150 degrees in the smoker. We pulled it out, put it in a pan, covered it with aluminum foil, and we let it rest for about 20 minutes. Now we're fixing to cut into it and see just how we did. So I'm just going to start off right here. Still kind of warm here. Man, it looks like it turned out really juicy and moist. Oh man, that is looking good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, cut one more thin slice here. And you can cut this any slice you want, any thickness you want on your slices. Man, I want you to look at that. That looks good. I'm gonna cut me a little piece off of here. See just how we turned out. That is perfect Canadian bacon right there. So easy to make at home, so simple. You've got to try it. You've got to do this. You'll never be buying Canadian bacon in the store again, I guarantee you. So I want to thank everybody that stopped by to watch my video. I really appreciate it. And if you don't mind, I'd really appreciate it if you go down and hit that like button if you don't mind. It just helps my channel. And I want to send a thanks out to all of my subscribers and all of my members in my channel. I really appreciate your support. And I'd like to send a thanks out to all of our police officers, men and women police officers, and all of our first responders. And I want to send a special thanks out to all of our active duty men and women in the military that are serving around the world. And I want to send a thanks out to all of our veterans. And until next time, thank you very much.